Shalom friends, and today I want to talk about eating kosher and how it is the most humane way to slaughter an animal, to kill an animal. I'm reading the book called The Coming Revolution by Rabbi Zamir Cohen, and it's very fascinating, and this information comes from his book. On this page you can see the difference between kosher animals and non-kosher animals. Pictured here from left to right are a goat, a cow, a chicken, and a sheep. These are all kosher animals. For an animal to be kosher, it must chew its cud and have split hooves. A pig, for example, has split hooves but does not chew its cud, and so therefore it is not kosher. A horse is also not kosher. And I was very fascinated to discover that the anatomy of these animals are different. The kosher animals have a vertebral and a carotid artery that the vertebral artery empties into the carotid artery, whereas the non-kosher animals, such as you can see here the pig and the horse, the vertebral and the carotid artery are completely separated and there is no connection between them. Why this is important is because when kosher animals are slaughtered in the proper way, the carotid artery is the one that is emptied. And this causes the animal to die within less than 2 seconds because the vertebral artery empties into the carotid artery. Then the circle of Willis in the brain, which is the one that is responsible for consciousness and for if it does not receive oxygen and blood, within a matter of seconds, the animal dies. So a pig and a horse, for example, if you cut their carotid artery, the vertebral artery can continue to send blood to the brain, and it would take much longer for the animal to die. And so one of the reasons why it's the most humane way is because the animal dies quicker and because the animal has less suffering. This is contrary to the other ways in which non-kosher animals or just conventional methods of slaughtering, of killing the animals, usually the animal is stunned electrically, which does cause the animal aggravation. And another way is that they put a bullet through the animal's head. They compared the kosher animals and the kosher way of slaughtering to the conventional methods. And the conventional methods include stunning the animal with electricity and also shooting the animal in the head. And both of these methods took longer and had more suffering for the animal. Another aspect that fascinated me was the treating of the animal before it was being killed. In kosher places, the animal was treated so that it was not stressed, and the animals showed no fear before being killed, whereas in the non-kosher ways of killing animals, the animals did show both stress and fear and negative emotions, as we know, that go into the animal are in the meat and affect the meat eater. Veterinary studies have been shown and have been done that also say that the kosher way is the most humane. A study was done by Norbert Klein, a doctor of veterinary medicine, and he showed that in kosher slaughtering, the blood loss to the animal was so rapid that 33% of the total amount of blood in the body flowed out within 30 seconds after the cut, and 50% within 60 seconds. So it's really a matter of seconds that this is done in the most painless and the most humane way possible. So if you are a person who is concerned about animal rights and humane treatment of animals, kosher is the best way to go. In addition, it is the way that is recommended by the Bible and Leviticus. In Judaism, the treatment of animals is of utmost importance. In fact, the Bible says that we must feed our animals before we feed ourselves. So this shows you the level of concern that God has for all of his creatures and for all of creation, and that even animals should be treated with the utmost respect and reverence for their life. So if you're going to eat meat, eat kosher. It's the best for your body and your spirit.